Erich Fromm, the German social psychologist, psychoanalyst, and philosopher, believed that to understand the human mind, we must look beyond biology and beyond the individual. For Fromm, psychology was never just about the unconscious or personal history. It was also about society itself. He argued that culture, politics, economics, and even history shape who we are, just as much as childhood and family do. This perspective became the heart of his social psychology. Fromm saw the human being as a social creature, deeply influenced by the structures and pressures of the world around us. He rejected Freud's narrower view that personality was only about inner drives like sex or aggression. Instead, Fromm asked, how does the society we live in determine what kind of people we become? In his landmark book, Escape from Freedom, 1941, Fromm explored a paradox. Human beings long for freedom, yet when faced with too much of it, they often retreat into submission. He studied how ordinary people, overwhelmed by insecurity, could embrace authoritarian leaders who promised certainty. His analysis of fascism and Nazism in the 20th century was not just political, but deeply psychological. People didn't just follow dictators out of fear. They followed because their social environment made them crave authority and belonging more than individuality. Fromm believed society implants in us certain character orientations. These are not fixed instincts, but patterns of thought and behavior molded by culture. For example, receptive orientation, relying on others for security; exploitative orientation, taking from others to feel powerful; hoarding orientation, clinging to possessions and order; marketing orientation, treating oneself like a product to be sold. These orientations, Fromm argued, reflect the values of the society that produces them. In capitalist cultures, people may feel pressured to become marketing personalities, constantly shaping themselves to be attractive, successful, and desirable in the marketplace. But Fromm didn't just criticize. He also offered a vision of healthier orientations, grounded in what he called biophilia, the love of life, growth, and creativity. In a socially healthy environment, people can cultivate being rather than having, giving rather than hoarding, and loving rather than exploiting. For Fromm, the great danger was that modern societies often produce alienated, anxious individuals who feel disconnected from each other. He warned that when people are isolated, they are vulnerable to authoritarianism and destructive behavior. But when society fosters connection, empathy, and shared purpose, individuals can truly flourish. This is what made Fromm unique. He bridged psychology with sociology, economics, philosophy, and politics. He asked us to see mental health not just as an individual problem, but as a social one. If society itself is sick, obsessed with greed, power, and conformity, then the individuals inside it cannot be fully healthy. Fromm's social psychology remains relevant today. In an age of social media, consumerism, and political polarization, we still face the same questions. Are we free, or are we subtly controlled by systems of power? Are we shaping our society, or is society shaping us? And most importantly, how do we create a culture where people can truly live, love, and be human? Fromm's answer was clear. A healthy society is one that nurtures independence without isolation, community without conformity, and freedom without fear. In Part 1, we explored how Erich Fromm saw human beings as shaped not just by their inner drives, but by the societies they lived in. For him, the health of a culture was directly tied to the health of its people. But Fromm didn't stop at diagnosing the problem. He went deeper into why societies shape us the way they do and how we can respond. Fromm believed that every society creates a specific social character. This is the shared psychological structure of the people within it. Social character is what allows large groups of people to function together. It makes millions of individuals behave in ways that keep the society going. For example, in a capitalist society, people may develop a marketing orientation, constantly adapting themselves to be desirable, competitive, and profitable. In a feudal society, people may have developed loyalty and obedience as central traits. But the danger, Fromm warned, is that people begin to confuse their social character with their true self. They act, think, and even feel according to what society demands, rather than what they genuinely want. This leads to alienation, a sense of being cut off from one's own human nature. People may seem busy, productive, and successful, yet inwardly they feel empty, disconnected, and unfree. One of Fromm's most powerful insights was about the human fear of isolation. When people feel powerless or alone, they often choose security over freedom. This is what he called the escape from freedom. Instead of embracing individuality, people escape into conformity, submission, or destructiveness. In fascist regimes, this meant submitting to authoritarian leaders. In modern consumer societies, it can mean blindly chasing trends, products, and lifestyles that promise belonging but rarely deliver fulfillment. Fromm also studied how love fits into social psychology. He argued that love is not just a private feeling, it is deeply influenced by culture. In a society that values profit above all, even relationships can become transactional. People may approach love the way they approach business. What do I get out of it? How do I maximize return? But true love, according to Fromm, is an art. It requires care, responsibility, respect, and knowledge. It cannot survive in a society that treats people like commodities. Another crucial part of Fromm's social psychology was his idea of biophilia versus necrophilia. Biophilia is the love of life, the orientation toward growth, creativity, and connection. Necrophilia is the opposite, an obsession with control, possession, and even destruction. Fromm believed societies could tilt toward one or the other. A biophilic society fosters art, cooperation, and joy. A necrophilic society fosters violence, exploitation, and despair. Which direction humanity takes depends not just on individuals, but on the systems we collectively build. Fromm's vision wasn't purely critical. He believed humanity had the potential to create healthier societies. He advocated for what he called humanistic socialism, not a system driven by greed or state control, but one built on compassion, equality, and community. He believed the future of humanity depended on our ability to create societies that encourage being over having, love over fear, and freedom over submission. In the end, Fromm's social psychology reminds us that we are not just isolated individuals. We are shaped by the culture we live in, but we also have the power to reshape that culture. Every act of genuine love, every refusal to conform blindly, every choice to live authentically rather than just consume, these are steps toward a healthier society. Fromm's warning is as relevant today as it was in the 20th century. If we allow alienation, greed, and fear to dominate, society itself becomes sick. But if we nurture empathy, biophilia, and connection, we can create a world where freedom is not something to escape from, but something to embrace fully. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.